Key point 1. The secret to a successful life is in loving yourself. Kamal Ravikant's exploration of self-love started from his personal experience. Certain moments and events convinced him that self-love is the secret to life. He found himself in a sad place, dealing with heartbreak, the loss of a friend, health issues, and business problems. Life just wasn't good for him at that point. He had reached his tipping point. He couldn't take it anymore, so he decided to change his approach. He got up, opened his notebook, and vowed to treat himself as someone he loved truly and deeply. He believed this dedication would reflect his thoughts, actions, choices, and decisions. So, Kamal Ravikant decided to love himself consciously, even though he didn't know how. All he knew was that he started repeatedly telling himself, "I love myself." Anywhere he was, whatever he was doing, he kept thinking about how much he loved himself. Of course, his mind would wander off, and he would forget his resolve. But he would always work his way back to where he was, the road to loving himself. Surprisingly, not only did his health improve, but his state of mind changed for the better. Light shone on his life. People started returning to his circle, doors of opportunities opened, and he became naturally happy. Yet through it all, he realized that all he was doing differently was telling himself, "I love myself," so many times that it was more on his mind than not. Self-love is essential in helping us dislodge old patterns, ideas, and systematic beliefs that we might not have known existed. In this tidbit, you will learn that self-love is the best way to appreciate yourself. You will also discover practical ways to love yourself daily and consciously. Key point 2. Only in loving yourself will life love you back. You're probably thinking, why is it about loving yourself instead of merely liking or accepting? Love returns to our primal instincts before rational thought or sound judgments. It goes back to when you were a baby, something natural and inborn to all humans. Evolution has programmed our human mind to recognize, accept, and reciprocate love. The human body also understands the acceptability and nurturing nature of love. Both our minds and bodies respond to it instinctually. This instinct is why the word love has a significant hold on us, controlling our feelings and influencing our actions. Make self-love your only truth. Then it won't be just a thought which you can accept into your mind or disregard. It will be the only truth you live by. It's okay if you currently can't find any indication of self-love. Once you've accepted that you need to love yourself more, you can begin your journey towards self-appreciation. It will lead you to find true value in your existence. Practice celebrating all your wins so you can remind the neurons in your brain of this feeling. The human mind identifies and craves love on a fundamental level. As you practice self-love, you will see that life will be kinder to you as you appreciate yourself more. Notice how things start working out the way they should and celebrate every time it happens. Soon, you'll experience surreal situations that will become a big part of your life. Picture yourself in a dark room with a cloudy window, but a bright world outside. What do? Try cleaning the window to allow this light to enter your world. Darkness is the absence of light, so let the light in so the darkness can fade away. Now picture this darkness as your negative thoughts. How do you discard this feeling? Do you let it overwhelm you or try to control it? Do you let it influence all your actions or contain it and avoid getting stuck? The window is the thing stopping you from reaching the light. To prevent dark thoughts from overtaking you, always clean the window and let the light in. So find that very window. It will be the thing stopping you from reaching the light, and fix it. Kamal Ravikant found his window using these 3 methods. Mental loop. Detect the negative thoughts which repeatedly appear in your head. If you don't want them to take control over your life, try putting positive thoughts in and looping them instead. Meditation. Wear your headphones. Listen to soothing music and meditate for 7 minutes daily. Give yourself space to ponder and allow your subconscious mind to take care of itself. One question. When interacting with others and finding yourself in ambivalent situations, ask yourself, if I love myself deeply, would I allow this into my life? Would I let myself experience this? Key point 3. A mental loop is undoubtedly one of the keys to self-love. Kamal Ravikant once heard someone explain how the mental loop works. He learned that we, as humans, sometimes fail to spot the negative patterns that shape our thoughts. We can often mistake the thinking process by reminiscing memories of what already happened. The mind gets stuck in countless loops that force us to get stuck in our past. We keep replaying loops, which trigger feelings, and we think we have no choice but to feel that way. Self-love is like a groove in a rock created by water. When you give it enough time, density will become a river. This is how the mind works. Thinking about something once doesn't have any power over you. However, if you keep replaying one thought in your head repeatedly, it eventually creates a groove in your mind. This repeated pattern eventually overwhelms you, leading to a river you can't control. This theory explains why practicing focused mental loops is one of the keys to self-love. The beauty of discovering self-love is that you become more productive when you consciously try to be happier with yourself. Remember to repeatedly say, "I love myself," to create a positive mental loop. Most of the previous emotions that trouble you are replaced with new ones that gradually register in your subconscious. The results might take time, so you need to be patient. Nothing good comes easy. It may take weeks or months, but you will notice a change in your life. This change will have you loving yourself, loving life, feeling good, and life will start loving you back. Love is an emotion. Love is a feeling. Love is a way of being. Kamal Ravikant. Self-love adds a new spring to your step, especially when you are patient with yourself. It gives you a renewed energy that helps you make better decisions and choices. In this state of being, you're free to make mistakes and learn because you're now more patient with yourself. Key point 4. Setting a pattern for meditation increases self-awareness. It doesn't take much to start meditation. Adding it to your daily routine is relatively easy. You can pick some music that soothes you first. The duration of your meditation will depend on how long your music lasts. You don't need any special resources to start on this journey. Meditating with a calming piece of music, preferably instrumental, can help reduce negative emotions, anxiety, and stress. Follow these steps to do your meditation correctly. Wear headphones while listening to music that boosts positive feelings. The choice of music is relative, so choose whatever works for you. You don't have to limit yourself to a particular genre. Lean against a wall or window. Put one leg on another or sit straight. As long as you're comfortable, it's okay. Close your eyes, smile, and think about a beautiful mirage. Let your mind travel as far as possible. Take deep breaths and tell yourself you love who you're becoming. Release your breath at regular intervals. It helps you purge yourself of whatever is in your head and mind. Repeat the previous 2 steps. When the music ends, gently open your eyes and take in the renewed feeling that has come over you. The light creates a sense of healing and positive vibes in your subconscious and conscious state. Inhale and exhale as naturally as possible, following the rhythm of the music as you do so. This intense practice requires your complete focus. Meditation is peaceful and soothing, giving you a sense of love and growth over time. With consistency, the magic will pop up. It is easier to stay in your apartment, repeat the words "I love myself," and practice self-love than to deal with loads of people on the outside. When dealing with negative emotions and mindset, always reiterate that you're loved and special. You must regularly put your self-love to the test to be sure you're making healthy choices in life. Did you know? According to the National Association for Self-Esteem, some negative behaviors attributed to a lack of self-love are earlier sexual ability, alcohol and drug abuse, self-harm, and an eating disorder. Key point 5. Rewire your brain towards self-love. Our negative thoughts or emotions immediately reflect on our state. When you find yourself in the depths of anger, pain, or fear, you should remember that if you truly love yourself, you wouldn't let this negative feeling in. Then return to loving yourself by replaying the "I love myself" psalm in your head. By doing this, your mind will respond, and you'll be back where you want to be. It works beautifully, and you won't have to deal with those negative emotions. The same rule goes for the emotions of the past, your memories. Your mindset when reminiscing about something plays a significant role in how you express your thoughts. Ask a neuroscientist, and they will tell you that memory isn't set in stone. The more you recall a situation or scenario, the better you feel about the events surrounding such cases. The memory becomes very strong in your mind. For example, if you were once in a relationship that ended abruptly some years later, you'll most likely be devastated. Your memory starts shaping your current experience of it. If those relationships made you miserable, you'll probably only remember the not-so-good parts. Those moments will eventually dominate your thoughts and emotions. On the other hand, if you recall the relationship when you're happy, your mind will focus only on the pleasant highlights. It's the same memory, but your state of mind changes the manifestation of consciousness. And more importantly, it shapes how the memory affects you in the present moment. Instead of letting that painful memory control you, choose love. Trace your steps back to the love you feel for yourself. Do it over and over. Love and rewire your mind again. You'll feel good when the changes happen rather than being nervous. You'll start to accept that life can be magical and fantastic things you never thought were possible would happen. A new beginning is possible. First, you need to get back in touch with your reality. When you feel negative thoughts, stop yourself. The majority of what we fear is not real or valuable. But when fear appears, you must remind yourself that it's not real and move on. That can be a good trigger for your new habits. Find out what works for you. Key point 6. Keep in touch with reality. Popular neuroscientist Richard Bandler, the co-creator of neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, could treat schizophrenia within hours. He got calls from many doctors and specialists in mental clinics. On one occasion, a doctor called him, asking him to examine a patient hallucinating about snakes. The hospital had tried everything to help manage his condition, but they all failed. It got to the point where they had to chain him to his hospital bed. The man saw snakes everywhere. When in darkness, have a light switch you've chosen standing by. Kamal Ravikant. So, Bandler went to town and rented a barrel full of rubber snakes and 3 well-trained snakes, 2 cobras and a python. He went into the shower, where the patients had bathed and scattered all the rubber snakes around, taking care to put the real snakes near the targeted person's wheelchair. Bandler then wheeled the man into the shower and left him there. The man screamed, "Snakes, snakes, snakes." When Bandler finally went in, he told the patient that he would have to tell which ones were real and which weren't. Much to everyone's surprise, the patient pointed towards the rubber snakes and said, "Rubber snakes," motioned around and said, "Hallucinated snakes," and looked at the python and said, "Real snake." Bandler was shocked to find that the man could not only identify reality from hallucinations, he could also distinguish rubber from real ones. Wheeling him out, Bandler asked the patient how he identified the hallucinated ones. The patient explained that the hallucinated snakes were see-through. The man knew this all along, but his fear of snakes was so intense that he lost touch with the real world. Bandler then taught him how to focus on reality, and the hallucination's power over him vanished. When in fear, don't fight it. Instead, find your source of light. Sometimes, when things go smoothly, you think it will last forever. Other times, situations turn sour, and it seems like you will be stuck in a loop forever too. Finding your switch can also subdue or control your fears and phobia. The switch could be sudden or gradual, but it's there, waiting for you to find it. Key point 7. Be consistent and point your energy in the right direction. When things get tough, don't get lazy. Use that same energy to work towards staying healthy when you are not ill. Keep improving and loving yourself at the same time. To sustain your energy, never derail from the practice of meditation. Focusing on your mind helps you stay in control of your life. Whenever you meditate, be open to questions that come up. There could be more of them appearing over time. Are we our thoughts or just the observers of them? It's okay not to have an answer to all of them. The mystery itself is fascinating, so it's okay if we don't know what role we play in our thoughts. It is crucial that we carefully select the direction of our thinking. It is essential to always be in control of your thoughts. Choose what you want to think about and ward off everything else. Choose the thought that transforms you and makes your life feel amazing. It could be "I love you," as Kamal Ravikant chose, but you're also welcome to make your own choices. It is worth it. It is quite a common misconception that you must love others first before you can love yourself. It's the total opposite. How can you give something you don't have? That is why you hear the same instructions every time before the plane takes off. In the case of an emergency, put on your oxygen mask first before helping others. Being in a place of self-love will make you aware of yourself, your relationships, your surroundings, and life in general. Loving yourself will make you drop old patterns, thoughts, and ideas that limit you from achieving your fullest potential. You will feel this immense change entering your life. Ideally, you might get to the point where your mind will choose to love you automatically. When this happens, you'll see the world through the eyes of someone in love with their being. You begin to feel the cool breeze on your skin. You love yourself, are happy and beautiful, and can't stop thinking about how you love your life. You've accepted how wonderful you are and welcome the love the world is throwing right back at you. This feeling is magical. Conclusion. Self-love is not just about feeling good. It is an action. It is a choice. Self-love impacts how you see yourself and treat others. It is a way of relating to your life that involves understanding your mistakes and losses and communicating with yourself about life without harshly judging yourself. It also helps us to set healthy boundaries and choices for ourselves. People who love themselves rarely suffer from anxiety or depression. Before receiving love and respect from others, train your self-love. But don't create self-love with selfishness or a lack of consideration for others. Without self-love, you might be incapable of being successful in what you do. You have to remember one simple lesson. Love yourself. For some of us who may not know how to, this summary guides how to get there. Let Kamal Ravikant's truth teach you what you need to learn. Practice fiercely and religiously. The one thing that makes all of this work is if you vow to love yourself. Write your commitment on paper. Pen down whatever speaks to you. Don't be too conscious of your words. Just let it flow and ensure it comes from your heart and is in your own words. When the magic finally happens, it will blow you away. Self-love is your secret to living a healthy and fulfilling life. Decide to love yourself every day and be deliberate about it. Whatever goes on around you, decide never to stop loving yourself. Try this. You must trust your instincts and believe in your decision-making abilities. Create your magic and let the world respond. Listen to a 7-minute piece of music you like every day and think of how much you love yourself as you listen to it.